Hello and welcome to the Be Strong Show. I am your host, Michelle Shirley, CEO and Chief Heart Officer for Be Strong International. First, I want to say thank you to all of our supporters that really reached in and dug deep in their soul to help us with Give Miami Day. We exceeded our goal. We are so happy and thrilled that you are a part of that effort with us. We can't thank you enough for all of the work that you are allowing us to continue to do in communities that are underserved, because we want to continue to strengthen children and families and teaching them practical relationship skills. With that said, I also want to say happy holidays to all of us who are celebrating this coming holiday. And in the new year, we have so many exciting things to share with you that we are working on. And of course, our Hearts and Rhythm event that will be underway in 2026, hoping that you can join us. Today, I am thrilled to have two wonderful guests with us today. I have Mr. George Joseph. He is the CEO and board treasurer, right?
Correct.
Of the Dade County Federal Credit Union. I also have Jennifer Gerson, who I've had a long time relationship with. She is the director of community engagement. Yes. And so I am so glad that you both have joined us today. So much that we've talked about off screen. So hopefully we have a great conversation now to continue what we've already started. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's really been amazing. It's funny because I asked for your bio, Mr. George. And when I read it, I said, what? Minor in theology. I wanted to go there because I love... because of the work that we do, which is relationship building, I always think that people see us on the outside and they don't know who we really are, right? And the things that we're passionate about and why we do what we do. And so this show is about that, and for the community to know more about you and your work, Jennifer, as well. And so just wanted to start there. Something fun, something interesting, because we'll get into the banking industry, I'm sure, later. Sure. But why a minor in theology? What were you thinking about in that time?
Actually, it was a major in theology.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, and the truth is, I probably have maybe one or two more classes to do, and I could have an undergraduate degree in theology. But
wow.
My area of concentration was the patriarchs and prophets. I just always loved the Old Testament history. And so, growing up as a young man in Trinidad and Tobago,
right.
I had a lot of influence in my neighborhood, the people in my neighborhood and the areas that I grew up with. And in general, the Caribbean, people from the Caribbean are generally very spiritual, very religious. So I just continued to grow in my spiritual experience, and I wanted to do this. So I entered the seminary of a Protestant religion, and started studying, enjoyed it, and then I decided to move away from Trinidad, and I went to a university in Michigan. And
cold. You went from warm Caribbean temperature to freezing cold. How did you manage that?
Well, it was a place that had the concentration of what I was doing in theology.
Gotcha.
So, but I eventually changed my major to accounting and finance because I realized I was doing it more not to be a priest or a pastor. I wanted to do it more I wanted to be able to teach it. I wanted people to experience what I experienced spiritually. So
nice.
And so I figured, you know what, I could do that and still be a good businessman, and maybe as a business leader, cultivate the spiritual experiences or help other people cultivate a spiritual experience as well. So that's kind of why the change was done.
That's so awesome. That's so cool. And I don't know, did your banking friends or anybody know that before? Is that something that you mentioned?
Some of them do.
Some of them. Wow. Okay. Well, whoever's watching now that works for you will be like, that's why he's said those things that he's said to me, right?
Now it makes sense.
I guess, right? Yeah. Jennifer, tell me about your journey. I know we've known each other for quite a while. You have helped with so many of our food drives in the heat and in the winter.
Cold.
Yeah. Right?
My journey in the credit union world started about 25 years ago. I was in luxury travel and decided to make a change and interviewed at a credit union. I didn't know what a credit union was. And I'm still here because I love this industry. I mean, the credit union industry as a whole is people helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. That's how we live every day, and why we partner with organizations like yourself.
Yeah.
So we can extend the people helping people.
Yeah. I really, first I want to say thank you so much. I don't know if the audience knows, but there was a very generous gift that was given to us by you all. And we celebrated so much within the office. And of course, when we went to your location to celebrate. And it just really touched me to know how much you all care about the community. And we are so thankful here at Be Strong that you decided to invest in our after school program. What, besides the work of the credit union, makes you all want to spread your tentacles into the community in that way and reach other organizations?
Credit unions are generally community driven. Credit unions are formed because they look for, or they have a common bond, what in the industry we call the common bond. And, many, many years ago, 1934 or thereabouts, 5-6 people got together. They were county employees at the time and created, they couldn't get loans from the banks.
Wow.
So they got together and they put about $180 some in a cigar box. And they used that to actually borrow and pay back from. And it was managed by these 5 individuals. And that's what started this organization that today is about $1.5 billion in total assets.
Wow. That's incredible. So what a story.
But we always try to make sure that we give back to the community.
Yeah.
Because, our members that are Miami-Dade County and now Broward County, we try to make sure we seek out communities that really need our help as well. So we try to cover that broad spectrum of everybody that's on the wealthiest end and everybody that's on the that live from paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
So I think we've been able to find that perfect mix of membership.
Right.
And it works great for us.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So then I guess I would ask you, when you look around, especially in Miami, right, there are lots of credit unions that exist, right? So what would you say would make Dade County, federal credit union like exclusive? Or why would people join yours over others? What's the advantage?
If I could.
Yeah.
The people, our employees, we're very unique in our approach to hiring people. We try to make sure that when we hire individuals, they understand that what our goal is, what our fundamental beliefs are, and that is to be able to create individual wealth for everyone. Wealth means something different to you than it does to me, than it does to the individual who, lives paycheck to paycheck, doesn't even have a savings. Sometimes they're living on loans. For everyone, that, to be able to live a comfortable life is different for everyone.
Right.
So we try to be everything that we can for everyone that's a member of our credit union. And I think that's what separates us from every other credit union. We don't try to be big just for being big's sake. We try to make sure, as you well know now, to give back to the community that we serve, the communities that we serve. And I think we've done a great job at that, if I must say so myself. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've created a foundation even within the credit union, where there's a certain amount of money invested in a program, and the interest earned or the dividends earned from that is what we use to assist programs like yours.
Yes.
And we will always be there to assist programs, especially the programs that work where it's mostly needed in the underserved communities.
Yes, yes. I love when you talk about building wealth, because we can see the disparities even in our own communities of where wealth resides and where it's not, right? When you have members that join, I'm assuming that you also have like a pathway for them or classes or workshops. Can you maybe share more, Jennifer, about some of the things that you're offering so people could think about I know as people are watching, maybe in 2026, they want to make a change. They want to think about, how do I now walk away from all the things that I might have not done so well financially
Right.
in 2025? And how do I move into 2026 with these new goals? And maybe there's some programs there that you could share.
Absolutely. So we offer workshops for everything from business owners to first-time home buyers. We have an entire department, a Gen U department that goes out and educates the youth on financial education. They do an amazing job. That's the next generation of our credit union members. And there's really not a subject that we don't touch. And we go out there we also, the common denominator between our two organizations is we serve the underserved, right? The credit union isn't a one size fits all. So we could, serve the wealthy members, but most importantly, serve the underserved or the unbanked, the people that don't understand the value of banking or credit unioning, as
Right.
you know. But the most important is to get to those people who need us the most.
Perfectly put.
Yeah. And are you still finding that there are lots of people that are unbanked
Yes.
besides what I would assume the immigrant population, right?
Absolutely. There are people that they're afraid of the banks. And you see that a lot in the immigrant population, but also in the population where it's generational learning, right? So they learned going to the check cashing stores the way that you get money,
Right.
but what they don't understand is it's nearly impossible to get out of that vicious cycle unless you come to a credit union or someone that's going to help educate you and guide you along the way to, I know financial freedom is a big word, but
Right.
A way to live where you're not constantly behind the 8 ball.
As a matter of fact, we created a special program to help individuals we call it our payday lending program, where if you're up to it and you really want to get out and you're committed to this, we will help you. We will help pay off those payday lenders, and the rate is a little higher, but with every class that you take with us and every session that you do with us, we continue to drop it and reduce it, and that's our way of trying to make sure that you're not just going to end up in the same place you started off.
Right.
You make that commitment to yourself, to your family, because that's what we're about. And once you go through this program, you realize how important it is to not find yourself back in the situation as it was before. You have to be educated.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I think is interesting was a few years ago, because we were really trying to narrow down our niche in the relationship space of what we do, we realized that people also had triggers around money. And the relationship with money was affected by so many other traumas that we kept seeing when we were working with children and families. And so we created a course called Strong Money Mentality, but it's all around their relationship with money. So it's the precursor before they get to a bank to learn about credit and banking and all those pieces, because we didn't want to do that piece, right? That's your specialty. But to go through, why do I oversave the way that I do? Why do I overspend the way that I do? And helping them think about that narrative was really powerful. And so I'd love to figure out or see how we can think about how we could partner. I'm sure you probably have, the
We
depth
could
of that.
absolutely build upon that, right? Like you're teaching them the psychology of the money part of it. And then to come in with the financial education part of it
Right.
after they figure out the psychology
Right.
part of it. That would be, we got to talk about that offline, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's a perfect mix. It's a perfect mix.
Yes.
The relationship,
Yes.
both of them. And, I have to pull family into this mix as well, because as I was reading the details about your organization, one of the things that I realized was, of all the programs you have, everything seems to come back to family. Everything, whether it be helping, parents with homework, where they don't have to worry about doing this when they get home. They could spend more one-on-one time. Having help with sports, and just everything. It seems like everything that you all do somehow revolves around the family. And regardless of what you think, financial stuff does impact family.
Yep.
It does impact your family and the relationship. And when there's a lot of financial issues happening, it affects the family relationship. And if we could, or you could, and with your organization, relieve some of those other things that arguments could come about, which just fuels the issues with finances. That's a major help to these individuals to try to concentrate on that family core.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, and it's a strain. It just naturally brings a level of stress that families don't know how to navigate. Right. And so if you have a single parent and they are struggling already to make ends meet, and then you pick up the child or 2 or 3, and then they haven't done their homework, and then you have to sit with them from a long day.
You've already done half the legwork for them. They don't have to worry about these things, and now they could just concentrate on those critical things that they need to concentrate on.
Yeah. So I love that conversation too, because it allows us to see how connected we need to be. It's not just, for-profits are doing this and they're growing and they're scaling, and the nonprofits, they're always trying to deal with systemic issues. It's about coming together to see how those pieces really work well. That's how you build community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you all are here. So we're going to get into social yaks as well, right? Because we want the world to know who the leaders are at this amazing organization. I would say that to the people that are watching, we had a great surprise this morning. So as I was explaining that we would play social yaks, of course, Mr. George decided to purchase 150 games. So woo! Right?
250.
See, I even have it wrong. 250. So I'm excited about that. I want to thank you again for investing in this organization. You know, when there's a gentleman that took lead on this, his name is Juan. You know Juan.
Mm-hmm.
Juan came to me and said, hey, I have an idea. I think there's something that we could do to really propel our work in making sure that families can continue to have conversations with their children. And so initially, from what you see now, it was index cards, right? And him testing them over and over again and us going through the questions. And it's always beautiful to know that in an organization like ours, where we are big on family, but also want to be innovative, this came about.
When you showed me this morning, I just thought to myself, I can't believe that nobody has ever come up with this idea before. I mean, it's just an amazing game to get family, employees, friends, you know, and instead of Pictionary, this is an amazing thing, whether you're just doing it socially or a cocktail hour or whatever you do at home and with friends. I mean, you walk with this game and it's, I just thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, so we're excited. I mean, there's a lot of games on the market, but what we tell people is, think about a game in which you're supporting the organization. You're not just building a bigger firm to just release and do more games. There's intentionality behind this game, and the fact that you're supporting an organization to continue to stretch its breadth and width to do the work that we do is incredible, right? So that's one of the things that, motivates people to purchase and continue to support our work. So we're going to play a little bit. I'm going to give you both the opportunity to, did I just drop that? Sorry. To play our first round, which is breaking the ice. So you can both pick a card, and I want you
Which one's the easier one?
Always the first level. So I'll have you pick one first, but don't look at it yet.
Okay.
And so you'll read yours first to the audience, and then you'll answer. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
What did you fear the most when you were a kid? And I fear it even now is not, I'm a Christian. Right. That's my fundamental beliefs.
Right.
And I always fear not making it to heaven.
Wow.
I've always feared not making it to heaven. And that's why I have a one-on-one relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
And I just have to continuously ask him, what can I do? What am I not doing? And just for the record, I did not see this question before.
You did not.
Okay?
I
But just want to make sure we're clear on that
randomly,
one.
yeah.
This was a
That's
random
powerful.
one.
That's powerful.
So,
Thank
but
you for
that's it.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Jennifer?
What is your top pet peeve? Picking your nails.
Really?
It drives me nuts. Yes.
Right?
Yes. I am still trying to break my son of that habit.
Excuse me.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're going to go deeper. And funny enough, this is a tool that we use. I was telling your son for onboarding. So when we get a new team member, when they acclimate to their team and they get to know who they are, we have on the schedule that they would play this game with their team, because changing a job is also like a life event, right? And so you want to know that you're joining this team that cares about you. You get to understand them. You know their why. It's a very beautiful piece. And
I
so
can't
we've been
wait to
able
use
do
it. Like
that.
I told you,
Yeah.
I'm going to use it with friends, with family.
So HR can
you
reach
know,
out, and we
yeah.
could even schedule a session.
Christmas is
some
around the
of stuff.
corner.
Yeah.
We're going to have guests at the house. You know,
Oh,
it's
that's
fun.
wonderful.
We're going to be
Yeah.
using it.
So then this is the order, just so you know, because people play it out of order, but for the right effect, right?
Okay.
There's no set way, but this is the main way. All right, so I'm going to have you both pick.
And you go
We're going to
first
go,
this
yes, you can go first.
Oh, I go
Yes.
first?
Go ahead, go for it.
What is your definition of happiness? Family. I
Oh.
mean, family first. Family, you know,
That's awesome.
as parents, your children bring you so much joy. Sometimes not so much, but at the end of the day, the family is my number one
Yeah, that's awesome.
sense of joy.
That's beautiful.
What is the craziest event you have ever witnessed? 9/11. I didn't witness it myself, but
Right.
I remember exactly where I was. I remember exactly.
Where were you?
I was in London, England, at the School of Economics, and I remember that it was a break, and I went to the restroom, and I was heading back, and all of these individuals were looking at these screens, and I thought to myself, "What's going on? Why is there so many people captivated?" And then, as I was asking that question, the second airplane was flying into the second tower.
Wow.
And I will never forget that feeling that, you know, we, not just as Americans, we, you know, I just felt that the world, what was happening in the world? What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
the craziest event I think I've ever witnessed or seen or happened
Yeah.
in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So
Wow. And that's a moment that I think we will never forget.
Never.
If you ask anybody today, 99% of people remember where they were.
I do.
Right? Where were you?
Absolutely. I remember pulling into the parking lot at work and hearing it on the radio and going inside. We had some important meeting that started at 9:00 that morning. And I remember telling my boss, I'm like, I just heard on the radio that a plane hit the World Trade Center. And he kind of laughed it off saying, oh, we would have heard that down here if that happened. And then as the meeting started, the second plane hit the World Trade Center. And I remember they closed the office for the day. We weren't allowed to leave. They ordered us lunch. He wanted just to keep us all safe because you didn't know what was going on. And I still remember how they stopped all airplanes from flying. And I still remember the first time I saw an airplane up in the sky, I almost kind of like crouched down because we were so scared of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think everybody in our generation will never forget where they were or how they found out about it.
Yeah, I was in the dentist's office. So I left school. I was at University of Miami, and I left to go to my dentist, and we were watching it on the TV. And I actually remember I had a friend from New York, my one friend that I, was close with, and I was calling, and it was like you couldn't get,
Couldn't get through.
couldn't get through. Yeah. So. Wow. Okay. So we're going to dig deeper.
These are getting harder.
I know they are getting harder. I'm digging deeper. I have one, so I'll have both of you answer it because I didn't remember that. Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you cried and why? My father died over 40 years ago, and I hadn't cried until this one time I'm going to tell you about. I was the CEO at the credit union. This was maybe 10 years ago. And we had made a significant contribution to the hospital. I think it was called Holtz Hospital over at Jackson, and everybody makes donations or sponsored stuff for the children and the parents because of it's a unit and pediatric
Of course,
ward.
yeah.
And I remember thinking, let's do something for the nurses. And so the credit union, the board agreed to make us a nice donation to fix this one room. It's a little bigger than here. And we did little nice pods and chairs and everything, and redid the ceiling and everything. And as part of a thank you, we did a tour of the facilities. And there were 3 pediatric areas. One of them was for, kids that were maybe 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
The middle one was for kids maybe 5, 6, 7. And then the last one we were going into was the neonatal unit, which is for babies, tiny little creatures, God's creatures. And I remembered just walking in, and I saw these pods, almost moving like in a circle. And I'm thinking, what are in those pods? And they were individual babies, little babies that had, were parents, either drug addicted parents or something was wrong with the kid, with the baby or whatever. And I walked up, and as the nurses, as they started explaining this to us, I had to leave, and I went to use the restroom, and I was in the restroom for a little while, and I cried like a baby, and I hadn't, maybe it was because I hadn't cried for so long. It's been 40 years since my father passed away, but I just broke down, and I just couldn't deal with it. And of course, after I was composed myself, I went back, but I didn't actually go back into the unit. And I thought to myself, maybe I don't have the personality to do this type of stuff, but at least I could help in trying to raise funds or to help some of the individuals like yourself that could do these type of things.
Yeah.
Maybe we could raise funds for you all or contribute. And it's not to make us feel better, but just because, I feel that maybe there's people that do certain things and people that do certain things.
Yeah.
This is just not one of those that I'm capable of doing, but I will help in any way that I can.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Wow. That's beautiful.
Mine's
That
not,
was a powerful story.
mine is kind of more happy, sad tears. My son's birthday was on Monday, and he turned 17. And as I was like getting ready to celebrate his birthday, I realized it was second to last birthday at home, and I'm an only child, and we are very, very close. So, yeah, I was kind of happy, sad tears. But yeah, my baby's growing up. He's gonna leave me soon.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's I'm getting there. Mine is 14, gonna be 15, and I'm already seeing how I have to. No, I have 3. One passed away. I have one that's 9. But he's the oldest and so full of energy, so full of life. And I'm realizing I'm having to, I'm going through what we teach, right? Letting him have a lot of autonomy and letting him make mistakes.
Of course.
Right?
You have to.
Yeah.
That's how they learn.
Yep. Yep. So I understand that. I know it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. No, those were beautiful. And the premise of this game is to share things that we typically wouldn't share when we're in that constant hustle and bustle and metrics and KPIs and business meetings, and you don't even realize that you don't know the depth of the people that you're even working with side by side. Yeah. So, all right. So what's interesting about this game and what we love that's very unique to Be Strong is that after you have poured out and shared so much, part of the social empathy piece is the piece in which we fill your cup back up, right? Because you've shared a lot today with us and with the audience. And so this last piece, which is use wisdom, is what you would have read, but I'll read it. And I'm going to share something about you all. So if you were to read it, it would say, in my circle, what do you think I am most known for? So if I answer for you both, I think you both are most known for your authenticity, how you care about people, the culture in which you've created, which is amazing from what I see. I've not met one disgruntled person from your organization, just like how you said, Michelle, I always see you smiling. And your level of generosity in the earth, I think it just speaks volumes to what you all are doing. And I think I would say to you, Mr. George, I think even spiritually, the impact in the kingdom and what you're doing, the ripple effects of that. You know, when you do reach heaven, which I know, I believe in all my heart you will, I think you'll be able to see all the children, all the children, all the families,
That way in those
all the babies that were in those pods because you said yes. So while you think that the work that you do, you know, you may not be able to do that, he's equipped you to do something more.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand there and you're going to see all these people because of your
What
work.
a day of rejoicing that will be.
It will be. It will be. So I just want to say thank you both for the seeds that you are continuing to invest in this community. It is going a long way beyond. I am thankful for our partnership, and I know in the years to come, there's so much more that we can do together to build families. Anything you want to share with the audience about how they can get in touch with you all? Yeah.
You can find us online at dcfcu.org. You can reach out and call us at 305-471-5080. We're really here to help the community with their financial needs, and we want to be your financial partner and, you know, take you to that next step of financial independence.
Yeah.
And I'll just add, as long as I'm CEO, which will probably be for 3 or 4 more years, you will always have a friend at Dade County Federal Credit Union.
Awesome.
BSI, Be Strong International.
Yeah.
will
Several
always-
friends.
several
Yes.
friends.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So thank you for being here. So with that, that ends our show today. But I just want to say you are loved. You are cared for. Please know that you are special. And the work in which you do, whether you're a mom at home and you don't work, whether you're a dad and you're grinding to make ends meet, whether you're a grandmother, a teacher, a doctor, a garbage man, everyone in life is significant in the work that they do. And we all have a role to play in making this world a better place. So thank you for being here with us today.